Welcome, guys. Scott Bartlett here, as always, on Grind Lifestyle, our podcast here where we talk about working hard. And without further introduction, an old friend of mine, music lover, and incredible man all around, and a world famous pitcher, Mr. Brett Myers. Introduce yourself, sir.
All right. I'm Brett Myers. Didn't you just do that?
Sort of.
Sort of. What's up, guys?
Much, man.
Let's do this grind life stuff, I guess, get into it.
So I'm going to try really hard to not have every question I ask to be baseball related, but I'm probably going to.
That doesn't matter. I do have 5 albums out too, by the way. We can get into that.
Absolutely.
I am twice the guitar player Scott Bartlett is, just to let you know that, and that should be fact checked because it's a total lie.
I think we're going to have like a guitar off. Do you guys both have guitars? I think you guys should just have a challenge right now.
Yeah, well, if it's not pentatonic scale, I'm out.
You and I have run some pentatonic. Hey, what do you have? What guitars are behind you right now?
Mine, I don't think I have any in here. I'm in the bar area. It's more baseball stuff, but I got shoot, you know how many guitars I got? I got probably like 50 of them. So I have a little bit of a problem. Well, I have I have like almost all of his at this point. Well, the Gibson models. I have one of his wild audios, but
it's the only one I got.
Big fan. Yeah, I think it's I don't know if you can play that one, can you?
It was a guitar smash. You'll be proud of this. There were 50 of us that smashed it. I was the only one that smashed it into 3 pieces with one smash.
All that lifting you're doing up there.
Dude, you're a fucking beast, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
They still talk about it. That was 7 years ago. That's about the coolest thing I've done in the last 7 years, actually.
Wow. Now you need to start smashing more guitars then.
Amen. I'll come to your house.
Yeah, no. Come on now.
So I was in baseball. I'm going to switch it, because baseball guy, you're a baseball guy. I was in Vegas for the Super Bowl working social media marketing for a nonprofit that was ran by Jim McMahon. They had a bunch of baseball players there. So I got to hang out with Mike Myers, Goose Gossage, Tim Lawler, Raleigh Fingers, Johnny Damon. And so getting there to
Damon's everywhere, isn't he?
Oh man, you should see that dude try to hit a golf ball with drunk glasses on though, because that was his challenge.
Are you sure he needed the glasses?
He was very sober because when he put his regular sunglasses back on, the dude hit it like freaking 380 yards. I mean, it was rip.
He's at every celebrity thing I've ever been to. He's like all over the place. So I know him quite well. So
no, he was a super great dude to get to know a little bit and hang out. Back to the music. Go ahead, Bartlett.
Well, I mean, that's kind of how Brett and I met. He came to a Able show years ago, right? Like over 10 years ago.
I don't know how that even transpired. I forgot. I don't know if y'all were with Non-Point or something because I knew those guys real well. And it was something where I kind of ran into you guys. Y'all were on the same tour together or something like that. And I've always said most musicians that I've met have all wanted to play baseball, and all baseball players wanted to be musicians. So it's kind of like I hit it off pretty good with musicians. It's the same lifestyle, man. You're on the road all the damn time, so it's you kind of run into some cool people out there.
Well, the baseball season is insane. It's so many games, and I mean half are away games. So I mean you're not wrong. Like for bands that tour hard and heavy, you guys get it. I mean, we're just gypsies, man. It's a little more glorified.
Yep, that's it.
Gypsy life, but it's not dissimilar in any way.
Right.
And
and military people I've actually gotten along with real well too. It's like it's all like the same. We talk about the same shit, man. It's just being away from our families and all that stuff, and it's just, I mean, Groundhog Day pretty much every day. I know how it was for me when I was playing. It's like you're up until 2-3 in the morning, just like most musicians, and you're drinking to go to sleep basically so you can get up and do it again tomorrow.
Amen.
What do you like better? Did you like playing sports or playing music, like touring for music or touring for baseball?
Well, I could say like, so baseball, I've worked my whole life doing that, and it came kind of naturally because I practiced it all the time. It really wasn't a nerve thing. And I started playing music probably 20 something years ago, just picking up the guitar because of all the downtime that I had being a pitcher. And it was just, I'm like, what am I going to do? You know, stuff like that. So I started messing with the guitar and stuff. And then the worst place you want to be is on the DL. And that happened to me in 2013. And I just started like writing music, I guess, not very good, I guess you would say, just kind of starting out, knew the gist of it and everything, but gave it a go with some lyrics and everything. And you know, then I, you know, at the time I'm like, oh, this is not bad. It was awful. I look at it now. It's like, it was really bad. And, but I mean, your ear changes over the years. I mean, Scott could attest to that. I mean, you guys probably know too, is like your ear changes over the years with how you hear things and stuff like that. And I didn't necessarily want to sing the stuff. I just wanted to write the lyrics and have somebody else sing it. Cause I never thought I was a singer, and, you know, I can't play guitar and sing at the same time either. I'm just goofy like that, I guess. But so I started dabbing and writing music, and I got with a buddy of mine here in town that played with Puddle of Mud, and we could play golf, and I played that shitty music for him that I wrote like 3 songs on like a little MIDI thing that was terrible. I didn't know what I was doing or anything, and didn't know how to sing in time or anything. So, and I was like, man, check this out. You know, I put this together like a demo, and he was like, yeah, you know, lyrics are good. But I knew what he was really saying. It sucked. So, so I got together with him, and he's like, let's do a song together. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And I came up with an idea of a song, and we did it. And then he's like, all right, get in there and sing it. I said, not happening, buddy. You're the singer. He had, you know, 2 bands that he sang in and played bass and Puddle. And I was like, yeah, man, I ain't singing this shit. You're out of your mind, bud. And, you know, 2 weeks went by, and he said, I'm having some people over. Why don't you come over and hang out and have some drinks and stuff? So I was like, all right, cool, no problem. And then, shoot, halfway through the night, it ended up in the studio, and I'd probably had, I don't know, 8 to 10 beers probably, and it was like, get in there and sing it. And, you know, every karaoke guy, I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And I get in there and start singing it and everything, and we cut it that night, and I thought it was terrible, but whatever. You know, he was really coaching me all the way through the first album we did of how to sing it. It's like I never took lessons or anything, singing lessons and shit. So it was strange for me. And every time that red light came on, I think I got more nervous doing that than anything in my life. The only thing I could attest to that, this is going to sound funny, but I swam in high school. I was more nervous swimming than playing baseball or anything, because it's just something different. You know, you put yourself out there a little bit. So, and you know, if you screw up a song or something like that, it's like, all right, this is my one shot to not suck. You know, at least, you know, when you're getting paid playing baseball, you can have a bad game and hopefully redeem yourself the next time. So you put out a pretty shitty sounding song, it might be the end of it for you, you know?
Well,
so,
I know.
Yeah. So I ended up doing a whole album with it, and I liked it. And he ended up telling me, he's like, we should play some of this stuff live. And I said, that is not happening. I can tell you that. And he's like, why, man? We should do it. I'm like, I'm not going live and singing anything live. I said, all right, I'll make a deal with you. We were in the middle of writing our second album. And I said, I'll make a deal with you. If only way I'll play live is if we play an arena. Now, the chances of that happening is probably 0, in my opinion. And then probably about 4 months after that, I got a call from the Jacksonville Sharks, here arena football team. They're like, you want to play a halftime show? I went, shit. So I like stuck my foot right in my mouth, and I'm like, my first show is going to be in an arena in front of like 15,000 people. And I know they probably weren't going to pay attention to me, but I didn't even know the damn words to the songs.
That was your first ever gig?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. 15,000 people.
Yeah. And I only had one album out. I mean, it wasn't like super popular, I guess, but, and we had done 2 songs on the new album that we were done. So I said, well, let's just do those. And so I went and did 2 songs at halftime, and I probably practiced for 3-4 months trying to remember the damn words and be in time. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I mean, at least when you got the Pro Tools and stuff, you can kind of cut and edit and redo it, but you're going live, you mess it up. I guess
that's
maybe
it.
luckily Yeah, maybe luckily the people didn't know the words to the song, so they didn't know if I screwed it up or not. So, but yeah, so that was like my first gig, and then I was like, all right, I'm hooked. It gave me the same kind of rush as playing ball and everything. So I was that it was fun. It was almost the same thing. Like, you go do your thing and then you just drink with your buddies afterwards. It's just like a clubhouse feel. And I had have a really good band behind me. And I felt like they didn't charge me anything. So I was like, all right, well, they're putting their damn reputation on the line at this point, because this shit sucks, man. They're screwed too. So I've got guys from Steindown in my band, Puddle of Mud guys. And I mean, they played, they have platinum records and stuff. So I was like, well, if they think it's good, then screw it. Let's just do it, So, and then we played a bunch of shows since then, and it was fun. It was fun just to get that adrenaline rush back again. And, I guess as a musician, a rock star, or, you're always looking for that next feeling, I guess, as a ball player and stuff, that butterfly feeling, that rush that you're going to get. And I happen to find it doing that. And it's been fun. It's been a fun ride. And I've kind of taken time off with it the last, probably since COVID, really, because my oldest started high school baseball, and kind of been working with him and trying to get him, set and squared away with that stuff too. So
does he pitch?
So, see, that's what everybody asks me, and it drives me crazy, because he doesn't want to pitch. He wants to do. He can. I put it this way: he throws. Kind of like I can play the pentatonic scale, but probably couldn't play you a full song. So he throws, and he throws hard, but he plays shortstop, and he's a middle infielder, committed to Florida. He'll be at Florida in June of this coming year. Yeah, so it's been a good ride. Yeah, well, I didn't do it. He did it. I just he put the hard work in, and it's been fun watching him play and chasing his dream. So it's almost like I'm reliving what I did back in the day, but times have changed and stuff. But if he wants it, I'm not going to tell him he can't do it.
Yeah, my son's a junior, and he plays shortstop, middle infield. He hit 666.
Of course, you're the coach.
Well, that's what they all say, right?
That's what it is, right?
But he he's a first teamer, and that's not, how that shit works.
Yeah,
but it's
sure.
He hates pitching. Absolutely hates it. Just wants no part of it. I mean, he throws the ball great, and he can execute, but he hates it. Butterfly, talking adrenaline.
I don't think sorry, go ahead.
You were talking butterflies and adrenaline. Is there a difference from when you're on stage to when you're, getting ready to face somebody stellar, or that, I'm guessing the apex.
I would say I had full confidence in what I was doing when I was pitching. And have you seen that movie Beer Fest, where they couldn't find the place unless they got drunk where they were the night before? Yeah. So like half of these songs I wrote when I was drinking. So I'm like, well, I can't remember them when I'm sober, so I got to start drinking again, so I can remember them, type thing. So like I was always not necessarily practicing when we rehearsed with the band and stuff. I was also practicing how much I could drink without fucking up, basically. So it's like, so I would actually put on a good show and stuff like that. But I would say, like, you have to talk into the mic. I guess the biggest part, and the adrenaline, I'll tell you a funny story, but it's kind of embarrassing. But you have to ad lib, like, on the mic in between songs when they're tuning up, and you have to talk and like be a good front man and stuff like that. Well, I don't know what the hell I'm going to say. It could be, who knows? It could just come out, and trying to fire the crowd up, whatever. Well, I was telling these people in the front row this, and now I wear sunglasses on stage because I'll get distracted. I got ADD, and I'm not saying this has happened, but if somebody flashes me, whether a guy or a girl, I might just go, "Oh, what was that?" and then forget what the hell I was supposed to say. So I wear glasses, and so I was yelling at these people, like, to stand up, get on your feet. Well, I didn't realize that they were all disabled veterans, and they were all in wheelchairs and couldn't use their legs. So I didn't know until after. I know it's terrible. I didn't know. I swear to God, I didn't know. And my brother told me after the show, he's like, yeah, those people are all wounded vets, man. Two of them didn't have any legs. And I went, holy shit.
Man, we're all guilty of that. When you do enough for the vets, it's going to happen. I'm trying to shake hands with people that didn't have hands.
I mean, and I ended up giving them all free merch and stuff because I felt so terrible after that. And I was like, I can't believe it. I mean, it's a funny story and embarrassing, obviously, but I couldn't see them. I didn't know, but it's just shit. I mean, and I don't have to you don't have to do that when you're playing baseball, man. You don't have to really interact with anybody until you talk to the media afterwards, and that's always like cookie cutter shit that you say. It's never like, this is really me, this is how I felt. No, you just give them little cliches so they leave you the fuck alone.
100%, dude. Yeah, I mean, and that, back to the butterfly thing, I think that ramps up the butterflies, like when you don't know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And that's just gonna go.
Yeah. I guess go ahead.
I'll choreograph a show around it. So if we know there's dead time, like, hey, if this happens, you better do this. Be prepared to launch into a bass solo. Like, be prepared to play Eruption, something.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you both.
The scariest thing for me is like, oh shit, what if my in-ears don't work? And because I don't have a monitor in front of me to hear what's going on with everybody. And it's happened several times. And it's just like panic. Like, and you try to go stand next to your guitar player so you can hear something that sounds familiar to, and he might be going off on some other tangent. Maybe he might be out of tune or something. And I'm going, oh my God, just straight. That is like one of the scariest things, I guess I would say, more than anything, because you're trying to put on a good show and you want people to enjoy it. And then there's been shows where I felt like we totally sucked and just, or I wasn't as good as I thought I could have been. And then after the show, they're like, dude, that was an awesome show, man. That was great.
Yeah,
and
love that.
I'm like, only if you fucking knew, buddy, the shit that I had to go through up there. I didn't hear anything for the first song. I'm winging it up there.
Those in-ears, man. I remember our first tour with them. We were after Papa Roach.
Oh, tough one to follow.
Tough one. Yeah, that's like rule number one. Don't go on after Papa Roach. But they pranked us, and we were trying out our in-ear rig, and they got into our audio guy, and all we heard were outtakes of David Lee Roth singing like Vance, like, so it would just be nothing, and then like,
yeah.
And we're all looking at each other like, did you do that? Like, I didn't know you could sing. What was that?
Yeah. I had the time where like somebody had played before us and they might have bought something or whatever. And they had to, from the front of the house, turn my ears up all the way, and it was just like crackling, and I had mine blasted. I could barely hear it, and come to find out it was a little knob on the band before us might have messed with or something. That's the scariest part, when you set up all your things and then when you sound check, it sounds great. And you're like, we're good to go, man. Fuck yeah, we got it. And then you get on stage and it's like, I can't hear shit. Like,
that's
I can't.
Why less is more. I mean, it's like you get these, one little knob can ruin everything. And then you're supposed to step up and persevere and get through it. Nobody understands what you're hearing in your head.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to, for me, because I'm kind of anal about this stuff, like I have to have like total seclusion in my own head, because if I hear anything off to the side, like I said, I wear glasses, so I'll get distracted from actually doing what I'm supposed to do and want it to go exactly like rehearsal went and everything. And it just, unfortunate part, it doesn't go exactly like rehearsal or sound check every time. Something always fucks up, man, and you're going, oh man, this is gonna suck so bad. So like, I've been trying to do it without in-ears and take them out so I can hear the band playing. But like, if you listen to the record and the album and stuff like that, they're not actually doing it note for note all the time. They're ad-libbing some stuff in there. So you're like, wait, what was that? I don't want to hear the guitar player go, hey man, that wasn't what it sounded like on the record, So that freaks me out, and I'll just snap. So I always put the in-ears in so I can focus and get through the damn thing so I can get drunk afterwards, I guess.
There you go. Well, hey, whatever gets you through.
Or I'm just hammered at the time I'm doing it. The hardest I ever had to go, when I had to do an hour and a half one time, and I was like, oh no, I'll never do another hour and a half show. I just don't. I just know that kicked my ass, man. I mean, I'm not a trained singer, you know, like these guys are doing, it's like working your muscles out and stuff, man. If you don't do it every night or,
that's when you go
2-3 days a week.
You go Allman Brothers style. You hire somebody like me who likes to take the 5-minute guitar solos, give you a break.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. We did this big pavilion outdoor thing, man. And they were like, you need to do an hour and a half. And I went, all right, I got the material, no problem. Well, towards the end, the songs, you want to finish on a high, right? So you had your break songs where it didn't have to go as hard, but like towards the end, the last 3 songs, and there's this one song where Freeborn Southern Man where I have to go like kind of high, and I was like, oh, I'm dying, dude. I was dying, and that was like the second to last song, and I'm going, shit. So I just kicked my ass. I was like, I don't think we should ever play that one live again.
90's a long time, man.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy.
Well, even being a promoter, it's weird to ask a band to do an hour and a half. Like I've been a concert promoter for over 20 years, and I typically keep it 45 to maybe 55 minutes. Like that's 45
perfect.
to 55 is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
The headliner's going to be happy. Your openers can do 20, 25-minute sets. Crowd's going to be happy. So
yeah, no,
it's weird to see a promoter like, oh, dude, they've got like 7 albums. Let's fucking put them on for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Nobody wants to, even as a fan, it's like you really don't want to be there that long. And
yeah. What we did it was like I said, it was like a festival style. So, and we were like the headliner, and I was like, man, I told the guys in the band, I said, I'll never do an hour and a half again. If somebody says an hour, no problem. That's easy to do. You can fill in with, let the band, I walk off the stage or whatever, and, and let them do their little jam and shit. And you fill time, and just end up doing about 10 songs is perfect. I don't need to be doing 17 songs.
Amen.
You guys ever, for both of you ever on stage and you're halfway through a playlist or set list and you're like, man, I really don't want to fucking play this next song, so we're just going to skip. Does that happen?
It hasn't for me because it's like real regimented and I'll never, if I don't practice it, I'm screwed. Like if it's not in my ears, because I have tracks in my ears and stuff so I can hear certain keys and everything like that. I know it's like cheat code stuff, but like I said, I'm not. I might claim to be professional singer, and I've told you that before. I'm not a professional singer. I am a novice that is giving it a good try, but I'm having fun. I'm having fun at it.
Your set is almost choreographed, so you have to stick to the.
Yeah,
you got to stick to it. Yeah, I mean that's how
I can't just. I don't just go. Yeah, I just don't go off. And say, all right, let's just play this song because, like I said, man. If I don't practice and listen to the songs, man, I won't remember a damn word. Unless, like I said, I start drinking or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I know this one. It's like one of those. There's been times when I've started a song before, and I'm like literally getting ready to hit that time and come in, and I go, I don't know the fucking words. Holy shit. Like on stage, I'm like, what's the words? What's the words? What's the words? I'm telling myself that, and then all of a sudden it kicks in, and I'm like, how the hell did I know the words? I'm like, for me, it's like right there.
Once you get into the song, you're kind of in it. But I've been in enough cover bands where it's like, man, let's skip that one tonight. Now with like an Able, there's like people paid good money to hear like Addicted. We don't have the luxury of skipping that. But once you launch into one, like I've launched into one of mine that had like my heart song, This Old Heart of Mine. Yeah, it's got this real intricate, like picky finger pattern. It's really pretty and it's recognizable. I started in on it and I was like, man, I can't believe I wrote this. Then it came time for the verse and I realized I didn't know how it started. So I just kept playing it. I had a friend of mine looking it up on YouTube to try to tell me the lyrics. And I was like, you're fired. It's been 3 minutes and I don't know the words yet,
Yep. I
we have a venue in Southern Oregon called The Brit. It's in Jacksonville. Super beautiful venue. About 15 years ago, a friend of mine was headlining. And we all went out day drinking, and this guy's a massive star. Like he was on a TV show. He's got songs in the TV show through the whole run. He gets up his hit song. He starts playing piano, and he is so hammered, forgets the words in front of 4,000 people. And then calls me out. He's like, you fucker, we're out day drinking, can't remember the words. It was hilarious.
And you know what? When the words are gone,
shit happens.
The worst thing you can do is get in your head about how it starts because you will not find it. But then once somebody cues you the first word, you're like, oh yeah, that's how it goes.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then it's
it didn't work out for him.
Yep. Yeah. It's almost like I want to get up there.
It was
it's almost like you want to take the set list that's like they don't have that in front of me. The band's got it in front of them, so I could walk over and look at it at least. But I mean, I kind of know it at that point, you know. But by the time the show starts, I want to kind of walk over there and just write down the first word of each song. So I'm like, all right, I got it, you know. But that's happened to me a couple of times up there, and it's just like, oh, straight panic mode, man. Mm-hmm. Straight panic mode. Out. And you're hoping that like I've heard about where they run like ghost tracks where they take the vocals and they turn them down. I'm like, can we run that shit just so I can just like relax out here? Is there a possible way of running just my vocal track or something? I was like, just what if a mic? Yeah, like what if a mic goes out or something, dude? And then I'm like supposed to start. Like, are we like? Do I like I freeze or something? Can we just like I'll hold it high and tight and you act like I'm singing or something? Just like fake it. I mean, shit.
So, favorite venue in your MLB career and as a musician, what are the two favorites?
Well, I would say for playing pro ball, it's always your debut, and it might be for singing too. I mean, shit, I played in the arena my first show, so I'd probably say that was fun. But I guess for MLB, it's pretty easy. My debut was in Wrigley Field, and growing up in Jacksonville, in Florida, that all we could see was the Cubs when I got home from school, probably around 3 o'clock, probably they were on. And then the Braves came on at 7:35, whatever, on TBS. So, you know, watching the Cubs all my life and then going, man, and just knowing the history behind that stadium and being able to go in there and be like, oh shit, like this is the Ivory, all that stuff. So that's definitely my favorite venue, not necessarily clubhouse wise, because if you go there in September when they expand the rosters, there's a lot of dick and balls in your face, buddy. I can just tell you that. I mean, it's not a very big clubhouse. It's about this. You feel like you're in a shoebox.
Didn't they just remodel?
Because it's old. I don't know. I mean, I haven't played in 10, 11 years. So, but the visitor side, man, it's just like a straight narrow, like a closet, man. It's not very big. And you got 35 guys in there and you're sharing lockers. It's crazy, you know, and there's not really anywhere to like kind of go. But like, it was the nostalgia of the place, man. It just did it for me. I could deal with that other crap. It wasn't that big a deal, but that was definitely my favorite, to do that. And, venue wise, I wouldn't necessarily say venue wise. I would say the bands that I've opened for and been around kind of cool, like 38 Special, you know, Skinnerd and stuff like that, like some stuff like that's just kind of like iconic stuff that wouldn't get to do normally, you know, and to be able to be on the same stage with them. I actually did a song with Johnny Van Zant on my last album, which was cool. Not very fun to go in the studio with him, I could tell you that, because no problem writing the song with him. That was easy. They're like, this is easy, and he's like, all right, get up there and sing. I'm like, could you leave? I would not like you to be in here right now, because, you know, it's just like, I mean, like, just like one of these guys have been singing in Skinner for 40 years or whatever. And you go, he's like, get up on the mic and sing the song. I'm going, no, get out. Like, I mean, how do you tell the guy to get out?
Just you under a magnifying glass.
Right. Like, get up there and sing it. And I'm like, oh no. I was like, man, this song's over. Like, he's not going to get on this song with me after he hears this shit. It's exactly what I was thinking the whole time. And I actually did some things for him. It wasn't what he necessarily wanted. I had to go to my studio where I was comfortable in doing it. And then he's like, that's what we were trying to get out of him. I was like, yeah, I don't want to sing in front of you, dude. It's not my process, you know?
It's called like being in the hot seat.
Right, straight panic mode in front of me. It's his studio. He's like, get in there and sing it. And I'm like, could you find somebody else to hit play that's not going to be judging me?
Right.
You know? So that was pretty intense too. But you know, it's all been fun, man. I guess what I was searching for with the music stuff is just something to do more than anything. I've always enjoyed it. Everybody wants to be a rock star,
Right.
And you know this. I mean, I've always loved your material. I'm a Southern rock guy through and through. I'm an
Yeah.
Allman fan,
Yeah.
So
Right. Me too. Yeah. Yeah. When I first started the thing, I was thinking like, I want like a Skinner-ish, and it probably took me a couple albums to really find like my actual voice to where it wasn't like trying so hard. You know what I mean? But I guess I always thought that didn't know if I was country or if I was rock or if I was like, I just dabbled in everything. Like I did some country rap stuff. I've done, I just dabbled in everything, and I like metal, but there's no way I could scream into a microphone like that. I don't even think I could do it for half a song and get through like Jared is, I guess one of the first times I was I forgot was that I was FaceTiming him and Zach Broderick or whatever. And I was drinking. We were FaceTiming. We were drinking together. I was in a hotel room and I started singing Addicted. And they're like, dude, you can sing. I said, I'm just trying to sing it like Jared is. So I like mimicked his voice, but don't ever ask me to sing that shit. There's no way I can do it.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. But they're like, dude, you can sing. I'm like, I'm fucking drunk. Like, what are you talking about? Everybody thinks they can sing when they're drunk, man.
When I edit this, if I were to throw in a video of you singing a song, which one would you want me to include here?
Oh shoot, I don't know. I got some videos out there. I don't know. Couldn't tell you, man.
Do you mind if I add one to this?
No, I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all.
Perfect.
Yeah, I don't know which video would be the best. I mean, because it's kind of, I guess I tried to more or less do the music stuff to try to appease everybody, but really in hindsight, you're just trying to make yourself happy, because you're not going to write stuff that everybody's going to like. There's half the people that are like, man, you suck. But I mean, a lot of people think Taylor Swift sucks,
I always
that's just
tell
not
people,
their style.
you're kind of like to me, you're like a blue collar, everyday man songwriter with a rock band.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's about right, because I just like writing about real stuff. I mean, what else am I going to tell? Now, some stories aren't necessarily all about me. My buddy might have done it, and I just kind of made it like it was like me, because the shit you see on the road, I mean, the stories, if you can incorporate that and make it catchy in a song, it's some pretty surreal, funny stuff, like, I mean, shit. I wrote a song about yoga pants. I mean, come on, man. I don't know who told me that was a good idea, but it turned out that it was a pretty good idea because people liked it. Like, I thought it was more sexist than anything, but the women like it more than the men liked it. And I thought that was kind of funny and I'll tell you how it came about. I tell you how it came about. I was dropping my kids off at school, and I literally would see all these women walking by in yoga pants. And I'm like, are they wearing those to make me look at their ass, or are they wearing them because they're really going to the gym? So that's how the song kind of came about. And I mentioned it to my buddy my producer and stuff. And he's like, dude, that's a hell of an idea. And I went, well, screw it. I don't care. It's kind of funny, And I did a song, Kegerator. That was just one of those things where my wife was bitching at me about how many beer cans she saw in the trash. And she's like, how many beers you drink last night? And I was like, so I bought a Kegerator. Now she only sees I've had one cup in my hand the whole time. She don't know how many I've had. So I outed, yeah. But I outed so many of my buddies that have Kegerators, and people out there like, damn it, he gave it away. But I'm like, well, I had to say it because it's pretty funny.
I built my own. So I started home brewing about 8 years ago.
Right.
And it's there wasn't a lot of stuff on the market. I'm not a Coors or Miller Lite type of guy. I want to drink, an IPA or something.
Yeah.
Like that. So I started brewing my own, and immediately figured out that it was a hell of a lot cheaper to keg my own beer than it was to bottle my own beer.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's we've got a dual keg.
Plus you can only drink. You could drink one an IPA and be hammered. You wouldn't need 10 Coors Lights. You need 10 Coors Light, So.
Yeah, and we've made some pretty strong ones out of our little garage there.
I bet.
Toughest hitter that you faced?
Oh shoot, people ask me that all the time, man. They want me to say like these Hall of Fame guys and everything, but Honestly, the little slappy guys that would get up there and foul shit off for about 8-9 pitches, and then you'd have to face the bigger guys after that. I hated those guys. And two guys come to mind more than anybody. Juan Pierre was a pain in my ass. I mean, if he would get up there and work the count, and then I'd end up walking him or something, or I'd end up giving in or something. He'd get a hit somehow, and then he'd steal second, steal third, and I'm like, well, shit, it's 1-0 now. And then David Eckstein pissed me off too. So I mean, I'm not saying as guys, as human beings, but like facing those type of guys, man, oh man, they used to irritate the shit out of me. I got to the point where David Eckstein, I just threw it down the middle to see how far he could hit it. I'm like, I'm not dealing with you today, buddy. Like I'm not dealing with you.
Keep hitting foul balls off you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I hate it. I hated it so bad, man. I'm like 9-10 pitches in, and I'm like, oh sweet, the guy on deck's freaking Albert Pujols. Isn't that awesome?
Hey,
I'm like trying to get out of here.
What do you think about PitchCom? You a fan?
Well, they actually have that in high school now.
That's why I'm asking. I just ordered ours.
I mean, if they're trying to like stop from like the stealing of signs and stuff like that, but the coaches calling the pitches. So like in the big leagues and playing at the top level, I feel like at some point you and the catcher got to see. You're the ones really seeing what's going on. You know, I mean, you can call pitches from the side as a coach and try to read guys' swings. I mean, yeah, some of these kids don't really know how to read swings. I mean, hell, it took me probably 3-4 years in the big leagues before I could even see if what the guy's swing path was and all that other kind of shit. So, I mean, I guess it's good for the younger kids, but then again, it's kind of bad because it doesn't teach them how to call pitches and stuff like that, you know. So
yeah, we just ordered ours. Our catcher's a sophomore that's only got 4 years of baseball experience total. I mean, he's 6'2", 235. He's he's sub-2 on his pop, so he's good.
Right.
But the baseball IQ is still developing.
Yeah.
So what we do is we talk pregame about what our strategy is going to be, and then him and I will get together between innings, and I'll explain to him why I sequenced just the way that I did.
Right. Yep. I mean, typical high school baseball is like they get strike one, they're spinning a breaking ball. I mean, it's like I wish. I mean, hitting in high school should be so easy. I tell my son that all the time. I'm like, if you could just find their pattern, man, and it's so easy to find if you just kind of think about it, you know, a little bit and see how they're pitching it. Because I mean, when they put the Florida tag behind his name and all these guys know exactly who he's going to Florida, so it's like they don't really like throw him anything. It's almost like they think he's Barry Bonds or something. I'm like, listen, hitters are getting themselves out. You can throw him fastballs. You know, they're spinning, you know, they're pitching him backwards and stuff like that, thinking he can't hit the breaking ball and fastball counts and stuff like that. So I'm like, dude, if you just use your head, pretty much every time you get up there 3-2, they're spinning your breaking ball. You can probably sit on it. But then again, you don't want him to get off the fastball because if the guy's throwing 90, he's, you know, then you look like shit on that. So it's just a chess game that you got to figure out. And
oh yeah, we're hunting fastballs all the time in 2A high school baseball.
Yep. That's well, we're 2A as well here. I don't know how high y'all's go up to in Oregon,
6.
but it goes 7 here with us. So but it's 2A. We're 2A this year. We were 7A last year at a different school, but you know, but we played IMG. I'm pretty sure you know what IMG is in Bradenton. We just played them last Thursday. So so they're chasing talent. They're trying to play good teams because they got a really good team. So they're just trying to. There's a lot of college commits on their team, so they're trying to get them the reps for to get them ready for college, basically. Our season goes. I think the state championships. If you go to state, is like in 1st of May, like the big first week of May, something like that, and then they're done. So okay. So that's when our travel ball starts, like our showcase stuff. It starts in June. I mean, there's a tournament every damn weekend. I mean, both my 12-year-old and 13-year-old are playing in 2 separate spots this weekend. One on this side of the state, the other on that side of the state.
Mom going to one, dad going the other.
That's pretty much how it goes. And I get to pick which one. I usually pick the one that has the worst attitude, the one that wants to fight everybody. So I got to go with him. Which is fun because it's like I did when I was 13, telling people to fuck off and shit. It's kind of funny. There was a kid hit a homer off of him like this past weekend. Bat flipped him, did everything like that, and I was like, I mean, it was pretty bad. Kid took a while to get around the bases, and I'm watching him yell at the kid running around the bases, and I'm going, oh no. And I told the coach, I'm like, he's gonna drill this next guy. He goes, no way. I said, I'm telling you, dude, he's gonna drill the next kid that comes to the plate. Sure enough, he throws it right at this kid's neck, dude. Luckily, I mean, he got out. The kid got out of the way, but the umpires like started warning him and shit and everything. And I was like, man, I told you, dude. They're like, holy shit. I said, I told you he didn't like that shit, man. He freaking threw right at his neck. That's the same shit I would have done. But back then, back when I was coming up, it's like, okay, that's fine. Like it's, police yourselves and everything. Now they're like, oh, you can't do that stuff. I'm like, oh yeah. I don't think so. You're not going to try to show me up out here, man, with your bat flipping shit.
I was talking to my boys early in the week, and we were talking about setting up early on a sack bunt, but not setting up too early. We play a lot of small ball, and it's and one of my freshmen asked, well, why don't you set up early? And I go, well, back in the day when I pitched, if you set up early and the bases were loaded, I'm fucking plunking you.
Yeah.
It's the game is a little different now.
Oh, for sure. Definitely is.
Let's we're 45 minutes in. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, sure.
We want to get your social medias and your website and stuff from you here in a minute, but we'll give Nick and Scott an opportunity to ask some final questions. We'll wrap this thing up.
Cool. Go ahead, Scott. I'm thinking of mine.
When are we going to collab and what are we going to write about?
Shoot, man. I don't know, man. I mean, collabing, we did do one song. I actually wrote it. She's Got It Bad. We did do that song together. At least the idea of it. So it was good. But next one, I don't know, man. I'll probably start thinking about that stuff again when I get this kid off the college, and that'll be in June. So I hopefully have a lot more time to do that because my other kids only play on weekends. So
I had loosely mentioned to Brett about doing a tour together. He was all in, but I forgot it was baseball season for the kids. So.
Oh yeah, yep. That crushes my. I try to set up, tours or shows and stuff like that, and it's really in a bad time because it's usually when baseball season's over. Some like August till January is usually pretty good, but it's usually cold as shit some places, so like they don't want to be out and stuff,
snow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, August it is.
Yeah, that works for me.
All right. What you got, Nick?
You actually asked my question and it was answered. I was just going to see when you're going to tour and what the plan is. So, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, after when COVID came through and stuff like that, my kids started high school. He came to me. He's like, I want it really bad. And I said, well, then, we're and you're going to have to work really hard and you're probably going to hate me for the next 4 years. But if you want to get where you want to get, then, you have to listen and bust your ass. So I really started focusing on him when he told me that. I mean, he could have told me, nah, I'm good, and I'd have been like, fine, I'm going on tour.
You summed up grind lifestyle in one.
But
bust your ass, man.
Why don't you tell us where we can find you? Give us your social media handles, websites, anything else that you feel like is relevant that you want people to visit. You mentioned merch. You got a merch store?
I do not have that set up. I handle all that myself, and I'm not too good at getting shit out. But come to a show, you can get some merch. But
Bartlett and Nick might know a guy.
Yeah, that ends up costing me money. So I'm just.
I am the guy they know. So.
Oh, perfect. All right, perfect. You can go Brett Myers Music 39 on Instagram. It's Backwoods Rebel 39 on Twitter. Brett Myers Music on Facebook, and brettmyersmusic.com on the internet. You can just go check out, see what we got going, and you can go to YouTube. Most of our videos are on there. I can't even think how many we got out. About time to do another one anyway. And all the videos are actually filmed on my property, so it's kind of cool. So
sweet.
Oh, yeah. Well, up there is Nick Martin. That is Scott Bartlett. I am Jesse Dugas, and that is World Series champion and musician Brett Myers. Brett, thank you again for joining Grind Lifestyle Podcast. If you guys haven't done so, make sure you hit that like, subscribe buttons across all platforms. Big things coming from Grind Lifestyle. You can go to grindlifestyle.in to order your Grind Lifestyle merch. We are out. Until next time, thanks for watching.